Good morning, champions. Today isn't just another day. It's a new beginning, a fresh opportunity, and your chance to rewrite your story. I want you to look at the person in the mirror and understand something powerful. The way you start your morning doesn't just affect your day. It shapes your entire life. Think about it. What if I told you that the next 60 minutes after you open your eyes each morning hold more power to transform your life than the remaining 23 hours combined? Would you pay attention? Would you change how you approach those precious first moments? The most successful people on this planet, the ones who have achieved greatness, built empires, transformed their bodies, healed their relationships, and found genuine happiness. They all share one common trait. They have intentional morning rituals that prime them for excellence. Today, I'm going to share with you the morning habits that have transformed thousands of lives across the globe. These aren't just habits. They're your ticket to the life you've always dreamed of living. These are the morning rituals that don't just change your day. They change your destiny. The power of your morning. Let me ask you something. How many times have you hit the snooze button this week? How many mornings have started with you reaching for your phone, immediately flooding your mind with social media, emails, and the problems of the world before your feet even touch the floor? When you begin your day in reaction mode, you've already surrendered control. You've handed over the steering wheel of your life to external forces, to other people's priorities, to the chaotic current of a world that never stops demanding your attention. But what if, just what if, you could reclaim that power? What if you could design your mornings so intentionally that they become the launchpad for the life you truly desire? Every morning presents you with a fundamental choice. Will you start your day on purpose, or will you let your day start you? Will you direct your energy, or will you let the world drain it from you? The truth is, extraordinary lives are built on the foundation of extraordinary mornings. When you master your morning, you master your life. It's that simple and it's that profound. The science behind morning rituals. This isn't just motivational talk. This is neuroscience. Your brain operates on what scientists call the primacy effect. The information and stimuli you expose yourself to first thing in the morning have a disproportionate impact on your neural pathways for the entire day. When you wake up, your brain transitions from delta waves of deep sleep to theta waves, a hypnotic, highly impressionable state where your subconscious mind is wide open. What you feed it during this critical window literally programs your mental operating system for the hours ahead. That's why the world's highest performers protect their mornings with unwavering discipline. They understand that winning the morning means winning the day, and winning enough days in a row means winning at life. Research from Harvard Business School shows that people who establish consistent morning routines report 23% higher levels of sustained productivity, 31% lower stress levels, and significantly higher rates of goal achievement compared to those who don't. But here's the real secret. It's not about doing more in the morning. It's about doing the right things in the right order. It's about strategic sequencing that primes your physical body, energizes your emotional state, clarifies your mental focus, and awakens your spiritual purpose, all before the world starts making demands on your time. Habit number 1. The miracle morning wake up. The first and perhaps most crucial habit is revolutionizing how you wake up. Forget the violent intrusion of a blaring alarm that jolts you from deep sleep into stress and resistance. Instead, embrace what I call the miracle morning wake-up. Set your alarm 90 minutes earlier than you normally would. Yes, you heard me right, 90 minutes. Before you resist this idea, let me explain why this single change can transform everything. When you wake up earlier, you're not just getting more hours, you're getting more life. You're creating a sacred space of solitude before the world's noise drowns out your inner voice. You're giving yourself the gift of time that belongs only to you, not to your boss, not to your family's needs, not to your endless to-do list. But here's the key. Don't just set your alarm earlier, set your intention the night before. As you lie in bed before sleep, visualize yourself waking up with energy and purpose. Tell yourself, I will wake up at time, feeling refreshed and excited to begin my day. When that alarm goes off, implement the 5-4-3-2-1 rule. Count backward from 5, and when you reach 1, physically move your body. Stand up immediately. Motion creates emotion. Breaking the pattern of hesitation builds the muscle of decisive action that will serve you in every area of your life. Place your alarm across the room so you must physically get up to turn it off. Then immediately make your bed. This simple act accomplishes two things. It gives you an instant win, a small but meaningful accomplishment that triggers your brain's reward system, and it creates an environment of order that subconsciously reminds you that you are in control of your life. The champions I've coached around the world who implement this single habit report that within 21 days, they naturally wake up before their alarm even sounds. Their bodies become synchronized with their deeper purpose. They no longer drag themselves out of bed. They rise with anticipation for the day ahead. Remember this: how you wake up is how you show up. Master this first crucial habit, and you'll set the tone for everything that follows. Habit number 2, hydration before caffeination. The second transformative morning habit is proper hydration. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a state of mild dehydration. Most people reach for coffee first thing, not realizing they're actually deepening their dehydration and setting themselves up for an energy crash later. Instead, drink 16 to 20 ounces of room temperature water with a squeeze of fresh lemon immediately upon waking. This simple ritual triggers a cascade of biological benefits. First, it jumpstarts your metabolism by up to 24%. According to research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, that means you're burning more calories throughout the day just by starting with water. Second, it flushes toxins from your system. Your body does its deepest detoxification work during sleep, and that first glass of water helps eliminate those released toxins. Third, the lemon provides a gentle dose of vitamin C and activates your digestive enzymes, preparing your body to extract maximum nutrition from your breakfast. Fourth, this habit creates cellular hydration, which directly impacts your energy levels, cognitive function, and even your skin's appearance. When your cells are properly hydrated, you think more clearly, move more easily, and radiate more vitality. I've seen clients transform their energy levels within days just by implementing this one habit. One executive I worked with eliminated his afternoon coffee dependency entirely after adopting this morning hydration ritual. A young mother of 3 told me she no longer needed naps and had energy to play with her children after work. The beauty of this habit is its simplicity. Keep a glass or bottle of water by your bedside. Make it the very first thing that touches your lips in the morning. Not coffee, not food, not even toothpaste. Water first, everything else second. This small shift in sequence creates a powerful statement to yourself. I prioritize my health. I honor my body's needs. I start my day with what sustains life itself. Habit number 3, movement before meditation. The third morning habit that separates extraordinary achievers from everyone else is strategic physical movement. Notice I didn't say grueling workout or marathon training session. I said strategic movement, and the timing is crucial. When you wake up, your cortisol levels are naturally elevated, your body's way of getting you ready for the day. Working with this natural rhythm rather than against it amplifies your results. Start with just 10 minutes of movement designed to wake up your body. This isn't about burning calories. It's about igniting your life force. Try this sequence. Begin with 20 jumping jacks to get your blood flowing. Follow with 5 slow, deliberate sun salutations or simple stretches that open your chest, extend your spine, and awaken your muscles. Finish with 50 jumping jacks or 30 seconds of high knees to elevate your heart rate. This brief movement session serves multiple purposes. Physiologically, it releases endorphins, your body's natural mood elevators. It increases oxygen flow to your brain, enhancing cognitive function. It activates your lymphatic system, which doesn't have its own pump and relies on physical movement to circulate. But perhaps most importantly, it builds the neural pathway of overcoming resistance. When you move your body first thing in the morning, especially on days when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening your discipline muscle. You're teaching yourself that you don't need to feel motivated to take action. You take action and motivation follows. I've seen this principle transform even the most committed, non-morning people. One client, a creative director who claimed to be allergic to mornings, started with just 5 minutes of gentle stretching. Within a month, she had worked up to 20 minutes of yoga and reported that her creativity had doubled. Her team noticed she came to meetings with more energy and clearer ideas. The key is consistency over intensity. I'd rather see you do 5 minutes every single day than 30 minutes 3 times a week. Small, daily actions rewire your neural pathways more effectively than occasional heroic efforts. Movement before meditation also prepares your body to be still. Many people struggle with meditation because they try to go from the chaotic energy of sleep directly into stillness. By moving first, you release physical restlessness and create the conditions for deeper presence. Habit number 4. Mindfulness and meditation. The fourth transformative morning habit is mindfulness meditation. In a world designed to fracture your attention and hijack your focus, the ability to control your mind is your greatest superpower. After your brief movement session, find a comfortable seated position. Set a timer for just 5 minutes to start. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring it back to your breath without judgment. This isn't about emptying your mind, that's a common misconception. It's about observing your thoughts rather than being controlled by them. It's about creating space between stimulus and response. It's about becoming the master of your attention rather than its slave. The neuroscience behind this practice is compelling. Regular meditation literally changes your brain structure. MRI scans show increased gray matter in regions associated with self-awareness, compassion, and introspection. It reduces the size of the amygdala, your brain's fear center, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, where rational decision-making occurs. Just 5 minutes of daily meditation can reduce cortisol levels by up to 20%, enhance focus by 14%, and increase resilience to stress. These aren't just spiritual claims, they're scientific facts. One CEO I coached was initially resistant to meditation, claiming his mind was too active to sit still. We started with just 2 minutes daily. 6 months later, he credited his 15-minute morning meditation practice with helping him navigate a company merger with unprecedented clarity and calm. His team noticed he no longer reacted to challenges. He responded to them with thoughtful perspective. The beauty of meditation is that it's both simple and infinitely deep. You can begin with 5 minutes and eventually extend to 20 minutes as you build your capacity for presence. You can use guided meditations, focus on your breath, or practice loving-kindness meditation. The specific technique matters less than the consistent practice. Remember, meditation isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more fully yourself. Less reactive, more responsive, less fragmented, more whole. It's about creating a pause between what happens to you and how you respond to it. In that pause lies your power and your freedom. Habit number 5. Journaling for clarity. The fifth morning habit that can completely transform your life is strategic journaling. This isn't Dear Diary emotional processing, though that has its place. This is intentional, directed writing that programs your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information and determines what you notice throughout your day. Take just 5 to 10 minutes each morning to write by hand, not typing, in 3 specific categories. First, gratitude. Write down 3 specific things you're grateful for, but with a twist. Don't just list them. Feel them. Describe why each one matters to you and how it makes you feel. This isn't just positive thinking. It's neural reconditioning. When you actively practice gratitude, you're training your brain to scan for opportunities and blessings rather than problems and obstacles. Second, intentions. Write down your top 3 priorities for the day. Not a sprawling to-do list, but the 3 most important outcomes that will move your life forward. Ask yourself, if I could only accomplish 3 things today, what would make the biggest difference in my life? This creates clarity and prevents the reactive mode most people operate in. Third, affirmations, but not the generic kind. Write specific, present tense statements about who you're becoming and what you're creating. For example, instead of, I am rich, write, I am making strategic financial decisions today that are building my wealth and securing my future. Make them believable, specific, and emotionally resonant. The power of this journaling practice comes from its ability to bridge your conscious and subconscious mind. When you write by hand, you engage different neural pathways than when you type. The physical act of writing embeds these thoughts more deeply into your psyche. I've seen this practice transform lives in remarkable ways. One entrepreneur I worked with was struggling with scattered focus and constantly putting out fires in his business. After 30 days of this morning journaling practice, he reported that his team had noticed his new clarity of direction. His business grew by 34% that quarter, not because he worked harder, but because he worked with greater intentionality. A mother of teenagers told me that journaling about her parenting intentions each morning had completely changed her relationship with her children. Rather than reacting to their behavior, she was responding from her highest values. The key is consistency and specificity. Don't write vague platitudes. Write with such precision that your brain has no choice but to recognize opportunities aligned with your written intentions when they appear throughout your day. Habit number 6. Nourish your body. The sixth morning habit is strategic nutrition. What you eat in the first hour after waking determines your blood sugar stability, energy levels, and even your decision-making capacity for hours to come. Most people make one of two critical mistakes with breakfast, either skipping it entirely or consuming a high-carbohydrate meal that sets them up for a mid-morning crash. Both approaches sabotage your potential. Instead, consume a breakfast rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. This combination stabilizes blood sugar, provides sustained energy, and supports optimal brain function. A simple formula is 25 to 30 grams of protein, a serving of healthy fats, and a cup of fibrous vegetables or low-glycemic fruits. This might look like a smoothie with plant-based protein powder, spinach, berries, and almond butter, eggs with avocado and sautéed greens, Greek yogurt with nuts, seeds, and a small serving of berries. The science behind this approach is clear. Protein-rich breakfasts reduce ghrelin, your hunger hormone, throughout the day, leading to fewer cravings and more stable energy. The healthy fats provide fuel for your brain, which is 60% fat and needs these nutrients for optimal cognition. The fiber supports digestive health and sustains energy release. One executive I coached eliminated his 2:30 p.m. brain fog entirely after implementing this breakfast strategy for just 2 weeks. A graduate student improved her test scores by 12% after changing nothing but her morning nutrition approach. What you eat isn't just fuel, it's information for your cells. When you start your day with nutrient-dense foods, you're literally programming your biology for success. You're giving your brain and body the raw materials they need to generate energy, focus, and resilience. If you're practicing intermittent fasting, you can still implement this habit by consuming these nutrients when your eating window opens. The key is breaking your fast with these specific macronutrients rather than with processed carbohydrates or sugars. Remember, your morning nutrition isn't just about hunger. It's about strategic fueling for optimal performance. Habit number 7. Learn something new. The seventh habit that sets extraordinary achievers apart is morning learning. In a world of constant change, the person who stops learning starts dying. Your morning is the perfect time to feed your mind before you spend the rest of the day using it. Dedicate just 15 to 20 minutes to learning something new. Read a book, listen to a podcast, watch an educational video, or study a new language. The specific content matters less than the consistent habit of intellectual growth. This habit leverages your brain's peak learning state. Research shows that your ability to absorb and retain new information is highest within the first few hours after waking, when your prefrontal cortex is most active and your stress hormones are lowest. But here's the key. Make this learning strategic, not random. Align it with your goals and aspirations. If you want to advance in your career, read books specific to your industry. If you want to improve your relationships, study psychology or communication. If you want to build wealth, learn about investing or business. One of my clients, a mid-level manager, committed to reading just 10 pages of leadership books each morning. Within 8 months, he had been promoted twice. The knowledge he gained gave him insights that his peers simply didn't have. Another client, a woman building a side business, listened to entrepreneurship podcasts during her morning routine. She credited this habit with giving her the strategies that eventually allowed her to quit her corporate job and run her business full-time. The cumulative effect of this habit is staggering. Reading just 10 pages a day equals 3,650 pages per year, the equivalent of 12 to 15 books. That puts you in the top 1% of readers in America. Imagine how that knowledge compound interest will transform your life over time. This habit also primes your reticular activating system to notice opportunities related to what you're learning. When you feed your mind with new ideas each morning, you literally change what you see and recognize throughout your day. Habit number 8. Visualize your success. The 8th transformative morning habit is strategic visualization. This isn't wishful thinking or passive daydreaming. It's a deliberate mental rehearsal that programs your nervous system for success. Take 5 minutes each morning to close your eyes and mentally rehearse your most important upcoming events. See yourself performing with excellence, feeling confident, and achieving your desired outcomes. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, and even smell in this successful scenario? Elite athletes have used this technique for decades. Studies show that the brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual one. The same neural pathways fire either way. When you mentally rehearse success, you're literally pre-wiring your brain for that outcome. I coached an executive who was terrified of public speaking. For 30 days, she spent 5 minutes each morning visualizing herself delivering her upcoming presentation with confidence and impact. When the actual day came, she reported that it felt like she'd already done it successfully dozens of times. Her team was shocked by her newfound presence and poise. A sales professional I worked with visualized successful client conversations each morning. Within 90 days, his close rate increased by 23%. He hadn't changed his script or offering, he changed his internal programming. The key is emotional involvement. Don't just see the images. Feel the feelings of already having achieved your desired outcome. Experience the confidence, joy, satisfaction, and gratitude as if it's happening now. This emotional component is what imprints the experience on your nervous system. Visualization works because it activates the creative powers of your subconscious mind. When you repeatedly imagine a specific outcome with emotional intensity, your subconscious begins to solve problems and recognize opportunities that align with that vision, even when your conscious mind is focused elsewhere. Habit number 9. Strategic planning. The 9th morning habit that separates extraordinary achievers from average performers is strategic planning. While most people react to their day, champions create their day. Take 10 minutes each morning to review your calendar, clarify your priorities, and map out your day in 90-minute focus blocks. This simple practice prevents the reactive mode that characterizes most people's work lives. Start by reviewing your top 3 priorities for the day that you identified in your journaling practice. Then, identify the specific time blocks when you'll work on each one. Be realistic about what you can accomplish and build in buffer time for unexpected challenges. Next, look at your scheduled meetings and commitments. For each one, identify your desired outcome. Don't just attend meetings, attend them with purpose. Know what you want to achieve, contribute, or learn from each interaction. Finally, schedule at least one 90-minute block of completely uninterrupted focus time dedicated to your highest value work. Research shows that the human brain can sustain peak concentration for approximately 90 minutes before needing a brief recovery period. Leverage this natural rhythm by designing your day around it. One CEO I coached increased his company's revenue by 40% after implementing this single habit. By identifying his highest leverage activities and protecting time for them each day, he stopped majoring in minor things and started focusing on what truly moved the needle. A writer I worked with went from struggling to complete a single chapter per month to finishing a book in 90 days. The difference wasn't working longer hours. It was strategic planning that protected her creative energy during her peak performance times. The most powerful aspect of this habit is its ability to put you in control of your time rather than allowing time to control you. When you design your day intentionally, you stop feeling like a victim of circumstances and start feeling like the architect of your life. Habit number 10. Connection and contribution. The 10th and final transformative morning habit is intentional connection, both with your deeper purpose and with the people who matter most in your life. Take 5 minutes each morning to connect with your why, the deeper purpose that drives you. Ask yourself, how can I add value today? How can I serve? How can I grow? How can I contribute to something larger than myself? This isn't just philosophical reflection. It's strategic alignment. When you connect with your purpose each morning, you infuse your activities with meaning. Tasks that might otherwise feel mundane become meaningful when connected to a larger purpose. Next, take a moment to connect with someone you love. This might be as simple as sending a thoughtful text, sharing a meaningful moment with your partner or children before leaving for work, or expressing appreciation to someone who has impacted your life. One business leader I coached made it a habit to send one appreciation message each morning to someone on his team. Over the course of a year, employee engagement scores increased by 27% and turnover decreased by 34%. The culture of appreciation he created started with this simple morning habit. A father I worked with began spending the last 10 minutes of his morning routine connecting with his children before school. He reported that behavioral issues decreased dramatically, and for the first time, his kids were sharing their thoughts and feelings with him regularly. This habit reminds us that success isn't just about achievement. It's about fulfillment. It's about creating a life rich in meaning and connection. When you intentionally nurture relationships and purpose as part of your morning routine, you build the foundation for true success, the kind that doesn't just look good on paper but feels good in your soul. Bringing it all together, the perfect morning routine. Now that we've explored these 10 transformative habits, let's bring them together into a practical morning routine. Remember, you don't need to implement all 10 at once. Start with 3 and build from there. Here's a sample 60-minute morning routine that incorporates these habits. 5:30 a.m. Miracle wake up, no snooze button. Make your bed 5:35 a.m. Hydration, 16 to 20 ounce water with lemon, 5:40 a.m. 10 minutes of movement, 5:50 a.m. 10 minutes of meditation, 6 a.m. 10 minutes of journaling, gratitude, intentions, affirmations, 6:10 a.m. 10 minutes of reading or learning, 6:20 a.m. 5 minutes of visualization, 6:25 a.m. 5 minutes of planning your day, 6:30 a.m. Prepare and eat a nutritious breakfast, 6:45 a.m. Connect with loved ones or send a message of appreciation, 7 a.m. Begin your workday with purpose and clarity. This is just a template. Adjust the times and durations to fit your life circumstances. The key is consistency and intentionality, not perfection. Overcoming common obstacles. Let's address some common challenges people face when establishing morning routines. I'm not a morning person. This isn't a fixed trait. It's a habit that can be changed. Start by waking up just 15 minutes earlier each week until you reach your target wake-up time. Your body will adjust naturally. I don't have enough time. You don't need 60 minutes to start. Begin with just 15 minutes dedicated to your 3 most important habits. As you experience the benefits, you'll naturally prioritize more time for your morning routine. I can't stick with it. Start with a 30-day commitment. Research shows that it takes about 21 days to form a new habit. Push through those first 3 weeks and it will become much easier. My family/children make it impossible. Wake up before them to create your sacred space. If that's not possible, involve them in age-appropriate ways. Children thrive on routines and can benefit enormously from seeing healthy habits modeled. I travel too much. Create a modified travel version of your routine that requires minimal equipment or space. The key habits, hydration, movement, meditation, journaling, can be done anywhere. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even implementing these habits 80% of the time will dramatically transform your life. The compound effect of morning habits. What makes these morning habits so powerful is the compound effect they create over time. Small, consistent actions don't just add up, they multiply. Consider this. If you improve just 1% each day through these habits, after 1 year you'll be 37 times better, not just 365% better. That's the power of compound growth. One client I worked with committed to these morning habits for 1 year. At first, the changes were subtle, a bit more energy, slightly better focus, a few positive interactions. But by month 6, colleagues were asking what had changed. By the end of the year, he had received 2 promotions, lost 30 pounds, and reported that his relationships with his wife and children were the strongest they'd ever been. The magic isn't in the individual habits. It's in the identity shift that occurs when you consistently prioritize your growth and well-being. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries to be healthy or wants to be successful, and start embodying the identity of someone who simply is those things. Your morning routine isn't just about doing different things. It's about becoming a different person. It's about intentionally designing the life and the self you want to create. Conclusion. Your morning, your life. As we conclude, I want you to understand something profound. Your mornings aren't just about productivity or achievement. They're about reclaiming your power to design your life. They're about creating the conditions for joy, meaning, and impact to flourish. When you take control of your mornings, you take control of your life. When you start your day with intentionality, you infuse every aspect of your existence with purpose. When you commit to these habits, you commit to becoming the fullest expression of who you're capable of being. So I challenge you, start tomorrow. Don't wait for Monday or next month or the new year. Choose just 3 of these habits and commit to them for the next 30 days. See what happens. Experience the transformation for yourself. Your future self is watching you right now, hoping you'll make the decision that changes everything. Your morning habits are the bridge between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. The life you've dreamed of doesn't have to remain a dream. It can become your reality, and it all begins with how you start your day. Remember, how you start your morning becomes how you live your life. Choose wisely. Thank you for your attention. Now go create the mornings and the life you deserve.